Hey guys. Hey. What is that, A?
Altoona.
Oh, nice. But it says Lady Lions?
Yes, I'm a girls basketball coach.
Oh, awesome.
How would you evaluate the receiver group so far? And then after
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, how would you evaluate the receiver group's performance so far? And type of balance offense? Do you think they'll put up on the targets?
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, yeah. Like the receiver.
I heard the receiver.
Yeah.
Can you
Do
speak
you think
up?
they caught up on the end of the bargain? Type of balance offense this year so far?
Say this again.
Have they held up to their end of the bargain so
have a
far
balanced
this year?
offense.
Because of the balance
Gotcha.
factor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're looking at every single position group, you always are going to want more production, no matter where you're at. We knew coming into this season that we had some guys that needed to step up offensively for us. There's still a ton of football left. There's still an opportunity this Saturday. But yeah, you could kind of go through each receiver and tell a different story with each one of them. But it's not just the wideouts. It's the quarterback, it's the wideouts, it's the protection, it's all of it. But yeah, overall, I feel pretty good.
Hey James, Minnesota leads the Big Ten in time of possession. 35 minutes this year. What are some ways, what are some things the offense has kind of done to ensure that it stays in the field?
Well, time of possession is a team stat. So it is your offense staying on the field, which is converting on third down and being efficient on first and second down. And it's also the defense getting off the field. It's both of those things. So that's what needs to happen. Our offense needs to stay on the field, do a good job on first and second down, get the manageable third downs, convert on third down, continue to move the ball down the field, and then when our defense is in that similar position, they need to get off the field on third down. Time of possession is about your defense getting off the field on third down and your offense staying on the field on third down.
James, when you're so fresh off of a relationship with an opposing offensive coordinator, just a couple years removed from spending so much time with him, what kind of maybe built-in advantage does it provide you? But maybe what makes you a little nervous because he's got a lot of secrets from your facility, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, in today's college football, that's happening all the time. Michigan had a guy on their staff that had been with us for a number of years. We had an offensive coordinator there, obviously. That's college football now. There's staffs changing and people moving for opportunities. So that happens more times than not now, to be honest with you. But yeah, he's got a really good understanding of who we are and what we do and how we operate and our personnel. And we got a pretty good understanding of what he likes to do offensively. Obviously, his time at West Virginia, he picked up a few things as well. But we got a pretty good idea who they are as well. So I think to a degree, it's probably an even exchange.
James, can you speak to the logistical challenges of the kind of recruiting weekend that you're looking at this weekend? How many people are involved and how difficult is it to do that in the course of the season, or in the middle of the season?
Now, one of the things that's been really valuable that we did not have when we first got here, and we've worked hard, is the Lion Ambassadors. The Lion Ambassadors have been really valuable for us to work with the university and get experts about what it's like to be a student at Penn State and be able to give tours and answer questions, especially on days like Saturday, where the numbers are going to be too much for just our football staff to handle. But yeah, this is going to be your opportunity for you to be able to get a bunch of people on campus. I think we have to be up front, and honest with a lot of them. It's not a normal game day where we're going to be able to spend a lot of time with them, not just because of all the things that are going on from a whiteout perspective, but also just the numbers, just the raw numbers that there are of prospects, big-time prospects that are going to be here. So, but it takes a lot of organization. The other thing is making sure recruits and prospects understand, this is not a game for you to bring your buddies from high school. It's your parents and that's it. If you want to bring buddies from high school, it's another game. We got a big we got a big recruiting ticket allotment for the whole athletic department, but this weekend tests you. It tests you for sure. So it takes a lot of organization, and also just making sure what people are getting themselves into coming into town and parking and all those other things. There's a lot that goes into it.
What have you learned about your demeanor in the week following a loss, and how has that or has that not evolved over the course of your career?
Yeah, I think it has evolved, and I think that's critical for our entire organization, for all the assistants, for myself, for the players. I think it's really important. I think at the end of the day, whether it's practice or whether it's in our facility, the players are going to feed off of our energy. And there's a fine line between making sure everybody understands, that whatever the outcome was not good enough, but also not to the point where it lingers. That is critical. And in this conference and on our side of the conference, there's no time for lingering, feelings or emotions.
James, how much input do you give in the offensive game plan? Does that fluctuate from week to week, whether it's because of the quality of opponent or things going well or
Yeah, I think it really just depends. I bounce back and forth. Spend most of my time with the offense, but I bounce back and forth with the defense. If there's something that I need to bring up on special teams to Stacy, I'll either bring it up in his office in the morning before the day starts, or at the end of the day, or when we're meeting as a full group on special teams. Same thing from time to time with Manny in the mornings or late at night on defense. But then on offense, I spend more of my time there. But it's more of a sounding board for the offensive coordinator. And very rarely is there something that I'm adamant about. There's some things, whether it's practice schedule or certain things that I'm adamant about, but very rarely. Typically I'm bringing a guy in and letting him do his job, or I wouldn't have brought him in.
When you have two guys who are flashing as much as Curtis and Abdul have at the same position, does it make you wonder how you can get the two on the field at the same time?
Yeah, we have had them both on the field at the same time.
More often.
But the challenge is, so the question wasn't how to get them on the field, it was
More often.
Okay. The challenge is, the answer is to move Kirk to the field backer. But the problem is then we're in nickel so much, and that guy's coming off the field on third down. So, the way to get both of those guys on the field is with the two inside backer positions, and that's easier said than done, because that's not really, Kirk's not a Mike linebacker. Abdul may be a Mike linebacker one day, but doesn't make sense right now, to do that. So that's the challenge. But we have gone big base with both of those guys on the field.
Have there been any differences or even challenges in preparing the defense with Tanner Morgan's status unclear at this time?
No, because we know the offensive coordinator very well and what they're going to do and how they're going to operate. I mean, you look at him. He's got a very clear identity of who he's been, kind of wherever he's been, and what they do a really good job with. So whether he's in the game or not, we got a pretty good idea of how they're going to operate.
Two more.
Does that bring a certain clarity when you're facing a guy like Kirk Ciarrocca? Just what you just said about that, when you're game planning for somebody like that, does that bring an advantage or a disadvantage to what you want to bring to the table against that?
Yeah, I think it does. But no different than when we played them last time. They're going to have a blitz, that we haven't seen. They're going to have a blitz beater, that maybe they haven't run up to this point, but 95% of the game plan is going to be what we have seen, with a few little wrinkles to keep you honest.
We didn't see Kevon leave today. I don't know if you might have is he class or.
Yeah, Kevon was not out here. He was not in class. That's accurate.
Thank you, Coach.